Rural Romania. In many respects, life today is much the same as hundreds of years ago in the peaceful villages of Transylvania.
But look deep in the hills and you'll discover hidden communities, a race of people isolated and ostracized, suffering in third world conditions in shanty towns. Most Romanians refuse to even go there, the gypsy villages.
A Romanian doesn't consider a gypsy like a Romanian. He doesn't treat a gypsy as a Romanian. Being a gypsy upsets them. They don't have eyes to see us.
Mai sunt alți care au făcut pușcărie aici.
Some of the gypsies, they were in jail.
Sunt alte țigani care sunt foarte blăstămați.
There are some gypsies that they are very bad because they steal, they are drunk.
Își dau în cap unul la celălalt.
They just kill each other. And because of this, the gypsies are considered like the lowest animal.
Golitsan grew up in the same gypsy village where he and his wife Maria now raise their own 6 children. The 8 of them live in a 2-room shack with no kitchen or bathroom, heated only by a rusty stove.
Even if we eat once a day, we are glad and we ask God. You know, God, we are poor, but you help us to raise our children. Don't let us just starve, dying because of lack of food. I went here at the mayor and I asked for a job here or to make the roads where they build the roads. But they never answered him. We can't do anything. This is the situation. We wanted to buy a little land here. They don't allow us. They say, no, we don't want gypsies.
The dozens of gypsy families in Golitsan's village face the same desperate plight. They have no jobs, no steady income. Their children get little, if any, education in the segregated schools.
I don't see them having any future.
In a different 1-room shack lives little Marinella. She's not sure how old she is, maybe 10 or 11.
The mom is in Spain and the father is in jail.
Her father is in jail. Her mother left the country months ago for a job as a migrant farm worker.
Și ce știi să faci? Ce știi să faci? Ce mâncare? Ask her what food she knows to cook. Ce știi să faci? Potatoes.
When is the last time she's had a bath or brushed her teeth?
When her mom was home. 3 months ago or something.
Most gypsies learn to fend for themselves at a young age. Some choose to embrace what many would call squalor, seeing the conditions in their villages as acceptable.
I was like shocked. They have lice, they have all kinds of bugs on them and stuff, and dirty, you know, and they don't have toilets, you know. They just go behind their houses, and I saw some babies having wounds here because they were not washed, you know. The fight is just a normal life for them, you know. The wives are beaten almost every day.
And in this atmosphere of extreme poverty and violence, darkness festers and thrives.
Especially the ladies gypsies, they are recognized for doing the witchcraft, and you can see curses, you can see spiritual fights, and if you don't pray, you'll feel it on your skin. I have a goosebump sometimes.
The first time we went out to Calvary, we drove in with a rental car, and the kids greeted us with throwing rocks at our car. And at that point, I was filled with compassion for the kids, and it was just something that God put in my heart. It was like an overwhelming sense of love for people I didn't know, and actually they were attacking me. They were threatening us, hitting the car with rocks and with their fists, and I pulled over to the side of the road just outside the village, and I just wept because I was so full of God's love for these people, and I realized God's love supersedes any prejudice or any danger or threats or people's attitudes or how dark the area is.
God has burdened us with a desire to reach the gypsies with the love of Christ.
There is a desperate cycle. Our hearts are crying out to God that He would break. And that cycle is children that are in the village are trapped to and destined to have the same lives as their parents, which is in desperation, third world country type of conditions, spiritually blind, desolate, and in a total state of shock.
And in an overwhelmingly significant testament of his love, God has called a Romanian family to join us, to endure the disrespect of their own countrymen, to minister to the Gypsies.
I had to choose between having money or obeying to the Lord and being blessed by the Lord. But if the Lord asks me to, I'll do it, you know, because He's my protection.
First time I was scared, you know. I put my kids in danger. I know I'm Baptist. Finally, I trust God for working out. I see that Jesus came in our dirty world, you know. He didn't just stay in the heaven and minister to us. He came here and he lived like us. So why we are not going, you know? Why to do not go there and do, you know? It's the same. I'm trying to bring Jesus in their life. This is what we are trying. I want them to be gypsies that love Jesus. They can be gypsies, you know, I don't want to make them Romanians.
The fact that our co-workers are loving the gypsies unconditionally, and that's what they're responding to the most, you know. And that unconditional love comes from a Romanian, I think shocks them, you know, because it's a step above and beyond what they've ever experienced, especially outside their culture, their subculture.
It is no exaggeration to admit that we all face potential danger and disease when we enter the Gypsy villages, yet God infuses us with His enduring strength. Many Gypsies in 2 separate villages have accepted Christ and now eagerly attend Bible studies and church services. Their children flock to our ministry's literacy program, craving the ability to read and write. In faith, we step out with hearts of service.
When they see God's love, that attracts them because they're an unloved people, even within their own community. The type of love they receive is nothing like what the love God gives them and acceptance God gives them.
We started to love John and Nico because we have somebody who comes here. It's not important that you are Gypsy or Romanian, we have one heart. God considers us that we all are His children.
Really, a Gypsy ministering to his own people is going to be very effective, and we've been praying that God would open up the doors to have leaders in the community of the Gypsies to minister to themselves. And God has been doing that. I don't want to cultivate them to be a democracy, Western culture, just to be under a theocracy, you know, to be under God's rule. And it's a very strong point in my heart. After God works in their hearts, what's left will be something beautiful and unique as a Gypsy culture, having more beauty because it's polished up by the Lord.